I concocted a solution that I could eject into the fandom and cure the fandom's problem.
That's by having them beat the shit out of each other, essentially. Hello everyone, Crafty Andy here, and today we're going to be talking about ACW, that is Anthro Championship Wrestling, and I'm here with the owner and promoter of the event. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Name's Jake the Wildside Williams, and like the Craft Master said, I am the owner and promoter of ACW, the #1 spot in action entertainment and the only professional wrestling federation within the furry fandom.
Fantastic. So what brought you to this idea?
Well, I've been in the fandom for a very long time, since 2009. And in my experience, furries are very lovable, cuddleable, always positive. There was one problem: how to deal with furry drama. In years, I noticed nobody could figure out the solution. Well, I went into the laboratory as a lover of professional wrestling and a ex-wrestler myself. I concocted a solution that I could eject into the fandom and cure the fandom's problem.
That's by having them beat the shit out of each other?
Not beating the shit out of each other, but the fandom does not have an outlet for the negative energy. And wrestling and the furry fandom have a lot in common that no one has really put together before. Well, I took the two worlds and smashed them together. You're a furry, you spend a long time creating a persona, creating a character. Then later on it comes off of the paper into fabric. You put that suit on, you become that character, you go out into the world and essentially entertain the world. You gain fans, you get a fan base, stuff like that. Wrestlers, they work hard at their craft. They create a persona. They work hard mastering what they do to go to a show, hit a curtain to what? Entertain the fans. So there's so much in common, and I hadn't seen why it hasn't been done, earlier, but now, here we are.
Amazing. So how long has this been in planning?
ACW has been built for a very, very, very long time, since I started it in 2013. I was an independent wrestler myself, and I had to leave the in-ring action because of heart issues and back issues, but it's in my blood. It's my passion, and I started learning the business end of wrestling, what all goes on to put all of it together. It's not just lights, smoke, and mirrors, So I've been in the business for a while and just started putting this together, and a lot of people, like-minded people, have seen it and went, whoa, what's this, and gotten interested in it, and we're going forward.
So roughly how many people do you have involved helping out with the production and show?
Right now, ACW has about 30 employees working just about every day, coming up with ideas, putting together, what would work, and also dealing with your occasional people that say it won't work, it's a bad idea, but we've pushed through that garbage.
So that kind of leads into the next question I had in mind. What's the biggest challenge you've been facing so far when putting this together and promoting it?
The biggest challenge is with anything that you do. You're going to have to deal with people that don't want you to succeed. And it's hard to fathom why someone would just go out of their way to say something negative about, your artwork. I mean, Crafty, you're an artist yourself. I'm sure you've gotten...
I think so.
You've gotten some feedback that you weren't pretty happy about sometimes, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I think the hardest thing is furries are afraid of change. And introducing something like this they ask themselves, why are you doing this? And I love that when people ask the question, because that gets people questioning their fandom. And when you question the fandom, you break out of the stagnant, same old, same old. What can you do to make your fandom better? What can you do to evolve? You know, your furries, your animals. Animals evolve. Animals aren't always cute and cuddly. They have a mean streak about them. And they settle things in battle. So, you know, it's still the same. It's anthropomorphic fun and entertainment. I have our first show is July 27th at the National Guard Armory in Middletown, Ohio. And already we're very close to a sellout of about 300 plus people showing up. Couple of them out of state. I was surprised there's some people from Indiana, people from Kentucky, people from Michigan coming down to see this. And the most negative thing that I have gotten was people saying that, oh, wrestling in the furry fandom is a liability. You're going to appeal to the wrong crowd. And I say, okay, what crowd is that? You know,
Trying to say something about the wrestling crowd, huh?
Yeah, you saying something, brother? You know, one of the most dumbest things I've ever heard was, you're going to appeal to pup players. Why? Because of masks? You know, I don't discriminate against anybody. You know, if a wrestling fan comes and they wear a pup hood, more power to you. You know, Lucha Anthro. You know?
Obviously, it sounds like you've been a fan of wrestling since forever.
Since the early 80s. I was an 80s child. Grew up on Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, you know, yeah.
Ooh, yeah!
So, and it's just, take something you love and do something with it. One of my biggest admirers in my life was my uncle, who was a retired Marine. I tried to get into the Marines when I was in my early 20s because I wanted to be like him. He raised me from when I was 9 to 18. And I felt like I failed him because I got through the whole thing, and there was a place called MEPS that they take you to where they have to do, you know, basic checkup. And I was told I can't serve in the military ever. And I said, why is that? It's like, you have heart arrhythmia, kid. I was like, well, what's that? It's like, your heart's screwed. It's like, well, I had to see a doctor about that, and they can't do nothing about it. I just have to take care of myself. So I went home upset, and I told him, I says, I can't fulfill my dream of, you know, doing. He says, kid, it's not your dream. You just want to be like me. And the military isn't for everybody. So he looked me dead in the eye. He says, find something you're good at and run with it. And I've never forgot that.
What can we expect to see at the show, ACW, July 27th? That's a Saturday, 6 o'clock p.m., Ohio.
The debut of something new, something different. You know, if you think you've seen professional wrestling before, you ain't seen nothing yet. Be prepared to see wrestling with an anthro twist. You have wrestlers who are furry, that are more into their wrestling career than going to conventions or going to bowling alleys for fur meets. And the biggest thing that's the biggest headache that I get, oh, fursuit wrestling. No, you dingus. All right. It's bad enough that you have, you know, heat problems in these suits. Okay. Think about what you're asking when they say, well, what is it then? You know, you got wrestling with the gear, has their persona on it, or their character name is their persona. We have people on our roster such as Matt Hagen, the Hyena. We got Black Hawk. We have the Unicorn Princess, Taylor Ray. We even have 3 individuals that I'm booking later on this year that are coming all the way from Canada to wrestle for us, and they're excited about ACW, and together they're known as the Furred Horsemen. And you have 2 cats and a wolf.
Makes sense.
And on their artwork, They have their personas drawn out. It says the Furred Horseman. Thing is, none of us are horses. So I can't wait to see them.
Do you want to add anything else, Jake?
Be sure to check out our very first pay-per-view called ACW Unleashed. It's going to be at World Wild Fur Camp in Hamilton, Ohio. Look up worldwildfurcamp.com to check us out and pre-register. We have a special guest, WCW and TNA's superstar Shark Boy will be there to perform for us. It's going to be wild.
And now Shark Boy, kick to the gut. Oh, man, just drilled him.
Stunned him, as a matter of fact.
Got it.
What you just witnessed was the birth of a new and improved Shark Boy. Because Shark Boy 24/7 says I just bit your ass.
Well, there you have it. Jake the Wildside Williams from ACW, owner and promoter. See you all July 27th. That's a Saturday, 6 o'clock. Most of you are off of work. You said tickets are almost sold out?
It's getting close. Get them while they're still available.
Okay, well, get to it. Bye.